All right. Yesterday I sort of went around in circles, but I did make some headway. I don't know if it's worth it at this point. Um, the signal goes from the antenna all the way through the radio, but it's not amplified. And one of the problems was getting Fox Edit installed. And Fox Edit has the ability to zoom in and just print out the view you want. Now, the Windows PDF viewer doesn't do that. Uh, Here's the amp over here. Let's zoom in the frame. I think this is dead right in here. But I went backwards. I got the signal generator out. I put a signal into the antenna, and I'm following it in. And the radio is very quirky, and I have built this circuit before. Okay. On one of the videos I deleted, I was doing, or many videos, I was doing what's called a direct conversion radio. And what it is it's got a tuned front end, like a little amplifier and a coil, and that comes over and that beats against the oscillator. And the oscillator is only slightly off from the incoming frequency, so it produces, it's a direct conversion, it produces audio. Okay? You can have a signal come in and you can beat it with an oscillator and make it 455 as an IF, and then you can amplify a row of IF strips, then you can detect it. But with a direct conversion is the frequency of the uh, amplifier. The amplifier input is the same as the frequency area you want to receive. So you got an amplifier that's tuned for the RF, and you have an oscillator, and that creates a mixer. But the oscillator frequency is very close to the incoming frequency, so it produces audio. Instead of 455 kilohertz, which would be above your hearing, it's producing actual audio, and it works good on CW and sideband. Very good for that, and that's what this radio is. And you got all kinds of modern switching chips. Now here, this is actually like a single pole quad. In other words, this, you can move this, so this input can be sent to one of these outputs, or in reverse. There's one going in from the antenna, it selects, and then there's a bunch of coils, and then there's an output. So you can work this either direction. Basically, this is like a mechanical switch. Okay? So what I built in the past was the same circuit, but the components were much bigger. The hurdles of this project, the components are really, really tiny. Okay? The other thing is I'm working with a schematic that is basically this radio, but U1, U2, and all that, the Russians label it differently, so you really can't follow step by step. You can look up the IC, and you can read the IC. You can look it up on the Russian thing and see it's the same IC. You can go online and download the what's inside the chips to understand what you're dealing with. I did that. That's what's good about Fox Edit. All right. Anyway, so last night I'm sending the signal through the antenna. I'm realizing I have no amplification. All right. Whatever signal level I send through the antenna, it goes through the radio at that level. All right. So I'm sitting there. I'm going, this is going to be really hard. Okay. How we used to fix stuff without a schematic where I used to work is we had a second unit. You'd put the second unit apart next to you, and you'd take some readings, and you'd usually find the part. Okay. But I don't have that. I got one of these. And the funny part was the dealer that what he did, he sent me the radio. The radio was supposed to be fully loaded for 127. Then he went in, I watched him. He changed the page. When I started complaining to him that it's only got the demo software. See, he copied somebody else's page because he can't speak English. And now he's had someone go in and change it so where it comes with the demo software. Okay? And then he emailed me, well, you didn't read it. I read the thing. I read it. I watched you change the page. Okay? Enough of this me being, oh, really? I read it wrong. No. Sorry, pal. So I'm not even responding to him. He's just a freaking liar, or he doesn't know what he's doing. They can't speak English. Fine. All right, put that out there. So I went on to different forums, and I found a place where I got the flash thing and that. I saw this guy All right, I just put a message to anybody. I need the actual schematics for this board. I said, the page I found actually has this board at the top. So I put my name in there, my full name, and the guy come back and he says he'll send me the schematics if I email him. Now, I saw his email address up there. So I just clicked on it. I just emailed him to please send me the schematics, you know. But he was looking for the Flash program, all right? And that's tough to find in a doofus mode, D-U-F, DFU. I call it doofus because I'm dyslexic and I reverse letters. But, so I'm going to wait a while. I'm going to clean this mess up. You see this mess? I basically got a handle on what the hell this radio is. But the hurdle I have now, the components are extremely tiny. I mean, they're tiny. Now, what you can do is you can cut the leads off the IC using a razor knife, and then unsolder, and then with a tweezer you can lift each pin off the pads, get it ready, lay the new one down, just touch. It is possible for me to change a part, but it's a production number, okay? And that's where I'm at now. I know I got a front end problem. It could be from when this thing was manufactured too, okay? Or it could be the wrong value in there. So when you got a schematic, now he's promising the schematic and parts thing. So we'll see. You know, I don't like to give up. You know me. Oh, you only know me from a few videos. You don't know me from the other 700 videos I had up there. But I stay with stuff until it gets really painful. And like I told you, it's psychological. It's the one song, it's me against the world. In other words, in your life, you can't do everything good. So you pick certain areas where you have an ego and you think I can fix anything. That's where I'm at. I can fix anything under the right conditions. Okay? Well, these aren't the right conditions. And another concept I can tell you is before I left New Jersey, things were really, really bad. And I couldn't get a break on anything. And the guy next door to me, they built a giant house on no property. And in some cases, the actual property, they used part of my property line to build the house, to have enough room. They surveyed it wrong. It's all, the fix was in. So they build this house, and then they sell it. And the guy who got it, he was really nice, and they were going to have a birthday party for the kid. Now, they had an area on their property that they could, driveway, that they could set up stuff like little games and that, but they wanted a bouncy house, a bouncy castle. Anyway, one of those castles, it has a blower, it blows it up, and a moonwalk, a moon bounce. Well, anyway, it's a castle, and you bounce inside on the blown up membranes or whatever you want to call them. So he's talking to me. I said, put it on my front lawn. You know, I'm right next to him. Put it on my front lawn. He goes, you're kidding. I goes, no, put it on my front lawn. I said, here's how it works. I can't catch a break with anything. I have to sell my house. I have to move to Pennsylvania. But to get back at the collective bullshit of life, I'm going to let you put the bouncy castle, the bouncy whatever. It's bouncy something. Put it on the front lawn of my house, and then your kid will have a good day. Okay? And that's what he did. And then I started getting phone calls from my neighbors. How come they put that on your front? You know what I did? I said, because they needed the room. I hung up. I went for a long walk. I didn't hang there with the little kids bouncing on my property. And I'm like, as I'm walking, I'm like, I have no insurance. I canceled the insurance on the house. And I'm setting myself up for a really bad fall. But it didn't happen. It went good. They took the bouncy castle down. Didn't ruin my front lawn. And that was that. But that's that in life. You pick and choose your battles. And in my case, I used to always help other people. And hopefully that guy comes through with the schematic. You know, if he's got some questions about flashing it, I can help him. You know, that's the way it's going to go. But the new flashes, I started reading about the new flashes for this board to make it receive Morse code. And I'm not interested in that. Like I said, I bought this radio to sit at the end of the night just to kill time. And it does do FM. And it's really annoying to change frequencies. It really is a piece of junk. Now, if you're just on one band and you're going up and down, you're looking at the waterfall display, fine. But you touch the the frequency itself, and up comes a direct entry board on the screen. This isn't a real touchscreen. This is a resistive touchscreen. So I think it gets a little screwed up with the fingerprints and stuff after a few minutes. The radio is a piece of shit. Now, electronically, it's a piece of shit. It's a direct conversion. It's made for just screwing around. Now, but the waterfall display is like it's past lipstick on a pig. It's like if you put Versace clothing on a pig. Okay, lipstick on a pig, Versace clothing on the pig. Now, what you really want is the clothing, the Versace clothing. All right, that's the waterfall display. So you buy this thing because it's really unique looking, but the receiver part of it is a piece of shit. And when you have it out of the metal case, it likes to go into oscillation. It does all kinds of wacky things when it's out of the metal case, you know. So it's a train wreck. And I'm hoping the guy does deliver the schematic, and I can go through step by step, putting the signal in and tracing it, and it's so tiny, like these little IC chips. There's a signal there that makes this switch work. Okay, it's like turning a rotary switch. So in other words, the digital signal comes in and tells it to go to this one position, and then the signal comes through the antenna, goes through the switch. It either bypasses the amplifier or it goes direct. Now, when you're in FM, it bypasses the amplifier, the front end amplifier, so the FM works. So the problem is in the front end amplifier, and that's what I got to work on. And then I was doing some tests, you know, moving the software up and down to change the attenuation and stuff like that. But if I had a second one of these that worked, I could do a bunch of different tests, write it down, test points, and now you put the bad board in the point, in the way, or in position, and then you run the same test. And then where I used to work, we had every part that went on the board, or we had a scrap board we could steal the part off. Well, these parts are freaking tiny, okay? And there is a pen that shoots out hot air out of a pipe, and then you put that near an IC, and then all you have to do is lift the IC off with a pair of tweezers. I know all about this technology. I don't have it, okay? And it's so funny with like I said, the vendor coming back saying, well, you changed it. You changed it. Even after I bought this and it didn't work, I went back and read the ad to make sure that this radio was going to be fully loaded. All right? Well, he changed it. Well, you got to go to a vendor and do an update. And that's not what it said. You said what the radio would go from 50 kilohertz to 2 gigahertz. It was plain as day, but you copied someone else's page. Now you're using the razzmatazz and saying, well, you didn't read the page correctly. Okay? Yeah. You were charging more money. And like I said, I'm looking at the prices of other people's radios, and they're more like the Russian one with the big knobs on it and stuff. And at some point I said, you know, now that you know how to flash, just order another one. But this bothers me. Okay, that's the problem. I can't get past when I have a hurdle in front of me that I think I should be able to get over. I stay with stuff too long. And, you know, I told you that Kenny Rogers song, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. Okay? That's the problem I had. Now, when I moved here and I was trying to buy a house and things were going wrong, I used to play that song for myself every night. And I finally found a house here. I put money down on it. And then the realtor called me up and says, they want more money for the house. And I said, no. He goes, no, that's very common. He's telling me this is very common. I said, no, I already gave him a deposit. Yeah. Once they take the deposit, they can't raise the price of the house. Well, you don't understand. We do things differently out in Pennsylvania. I said, dude, you're a bullshit artist. Okay, my realtor. I'll say his name. Anyway, I won't say his name. But anyway, he pulled a lot of this crap on other people after I bought the house. I didn't use him. I used the realtor from the other people that I did buy this house from. My realtor was a knucklehead, and he's a scam artist. His son overdosed. His only son overdosed and is dead. But anyway, guy has problems, but I didn't want his problem to become my problem. So I kept playing that song, Kenny Rogers. Got to know when to hold him, when to fold him. So I told him, no, we're backing out of the house. They can't do anything. Or the house has to go for the. Well, they decided they could get more money for the house. So I bought this one for less money. It's a bigger house. It's in a better neighborhood. That house there sat vacant for over a year. That's where it ended up. Okay, and the house next to it became vacant. There was water come in the cellar every time it rained, real bad. And I kept saying to him, there's something wrong with this house in the cellar. There was rug pulled up, but not under the appliances. Oh, they're probably just changing the carpets. He knew that was a flood house. Well, anyway, things worked out for me. And like I said, I played a Kenny Rogers thing. And this, I can't walk away from stuff. That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. Hopefully the guy comes up with the schematic. I'm going to wait. I'm going to clean up some of the mess and rethink this, and maybe send the signal to the antenna one more time and go around that amplifier. You know, I do have the schematic of this radio, but it's not the exact schematic. But there's a little amplifier, and I did download this and see what the gain of this is. So going into the 1 pin, say I got a certain signal coming out, it's got to be stronger. If it's not stronger, maybe this coil is open. There's a voltage here comes in. Maybe that voltage isn't there. You know, this could be a production problem when this radio was built. And but it does look like someone's been in it before. So I don't know. You know, when you got people lying to you, what do you do? Okay? I think that's it. All right, that's it.